Today's video we are going to do section 3.4, two-step inequalities and translating words. So here's your table of contents, there's your date. Alright, so in 3.4 we work on solving our inequalities, only this time we will have more than one step. It says two-step, but it might be more of a multi-step as well. So this is going to feel very familiar and similar to what we did in chapter 2 where we were solving all of our equations. This first example, 4x minus 9 is greater than 7. We have to get x alone, so our first step will be to add 9 to both sides. We have 4x is greater than 16. Then we divide by 4. Now if you notice, we're dividing by a positive number, so we do not have to flip the inequality, but we do want to think about that every time we do these problems. So x is greater than 4. Graphing the solution, remember we just need 3 numbers on a number line with that 4 in the middle, 3, 4, 5. Open or close circle, this one is going to be open because, oops, there it is. Because of it's just a greater than, it doesn't have that or equal to line, and then x is greater than 4, so we shade all the numbers that are greater than 4. And everything that this x over here is shading, these are all possible solutions for x. So that's why we have the shading on these problems. Alright, next example. We have a fraction, 2/3 p minus 5 is greater than or equal to 7. So we can do our same fraction trick that we did in chapter 2. We can take this thing and say, all right, I'm going to multiply the whole thing by the denominator, which is 3. So multiply 3 times 2 is 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2, and the p stays with it, minus 3 times 5 is 15, is greater than or equal to, and 3 times 7 is 21. All right, so now it looks just like our last example. We're going to go ahead and add 15 to both sides to solve. So remember, you can apply your same fraction trick, so you don't have to work with the fractions. Makes life a little bit easier. Divide by 2. Now I'm dividing by a positive number, so we don't have to flip the inequality. P is greater than or equal to 18. All right, on a number line, we have 17, 18, 19, and we're going to have a closed circle. Let me change colors. Closed circle on 18, and p is greater than or equal to, so we shade everything to the right for the greater than. Alright, I included this problem just because it has a fraction, it also has some parentheses, there's just a few things going on. It's not a bad idea to talk about. Anytime you have parentheses, that trumps your fraction. So first thing, if you have parentheses, we always want to distribute first. So we have 1/4 times p is 1/4 p, minus 1/4 times 10 is actually 10 over 4. That does reduce, but I'm thinking ahead in the problem a little bit. I know that we're going to end up doing the fraction trick, and right now I have the same denominator, so I'm going to leave that alone. Go ahead and carry down the less than. Now 6 minus 4, we know that that is negative 2. Alright, so we see we have to solve this inequality. It has fractions, so we can multiply everything by your denominator again. So 4 times 1 is 4, divided by 4 is 1p, minus 4 times 10 is 40, divided by 4 is 10, is less than 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. Alright, we can go ahead and solve for p. We're going to add 10 to both sides. Now when I rewrite that 1p, that's the same thing as just p. So I'm just going to leave it as p is less than. It's kind of an ugly less than. Let me try that again. P is less than. Negative 8 plus 10 is 2. So we've solved for p. We'll go ahead and graph. 1, 2, 3. This is a open circle on 2, and shading, because p is less than 2, we shade to the left where all the less than numbers are. All right, this will be the last slide of our intro video. On translating words, it says 1/3 of a number increased by 3 is at most 15. So that is at most, that's going to be our inequality. So we want to make sure we know what that means. If we're unsure, you can look back at your notes from the last section that we did. But let's just go through this. 1/3 of a number. So 1/3 of a number is written 1/3 times that number. So that's how you would write 1/3 of a number. Increased by 3 is addition, so plus 3. Now, is at most 15. That means that 15 is the most that it can be, so it can't be more than that. So we're going to use a less than or equal to 15. Might as well go ahead and solve this while we're here. I see a fraction, so we've done that fraction trick a couple times already. We can multiply everything by 3. 3 times 1 is 3, divided by 3 is 1n. 3 times 3 is 9, less than or equal to. 3 times 15 is 45. Let's go ahead and solve for n. We'll subtract 9 from both sides. And again, that 1n is the same thing as n, so I'm going to say n is less than or equal to 36. And then our number line, we have 35, 36, 37, and this will be a closed circle because of the or equal to, so less than or equal to. And then we shade all the numbers that are less than 36, which are these numbers here over on the side.